Yesterday we went to Quinta Sarajevo to see our friends Greg and Sarah, and they care for cats in all shapes and sizes, and they're beautiful cats. I think it was 64 cats now, and there was a few with neurological problems, wobbly cats that can't really stand up so well as a cat without a neurological problem, and cats that are part paralysed and that have been blind and things. And we look, they've even got a trans cat, which is so sweet, because he couldn't be a he anymore, he needed to be a she so he could be able to go to the toilet. So there's a trans cat too, and it really just goes to show how animals really can have a quality of life with a disability, and that's awesome. Not to turn your back on an animal because it's got a disability. And so too, I come to contemplate being human with a disability, and when we're aware of our disabilities, they become more abilities. It's more of our strengths and our weaknesses, you know. We have diagnoses, we have things that have affected us. So, you know, maybe our legs or arms or hands or eyesight don't work as well as it used to, but we learn to adapt, you know, like the cats at the sanctuary. They learn to adapt and they still function really well in their environment. So when we build the right environment around ourselves, we can adapt too. And that's why I talk about in designing a life that could hold me, because moving from a place and a space where I was tired to just get to the toilet, you know, just going for a wee was one of the hardest things I did in a day. Some days I didn't have the energy to wash my hair or brush my hair. Some days I couldn't be doing with brushing my teeth because my arms just didn't work. Some days I couldn't get dressed because I didn't have the balance to stand, to move, to get everything ready to get dressed. And it's took a very long time to be able to work out the best clothes to wear, the best shoes to have, the best cutlery and things to have in the kitchen so that we can work around what it is that are not my strong points, and to set up a space, a living space. And of course, it was such a blessing to be able to completely rebuild my own living space. Such a blessing. And to be able to stop having all the tiredness from doing things that was no longer necessary because my standards were too high. I set myself unrealistic standards of living, and I had to realise that, you know what really matters, and how can I work with what matters and let go of the things I can't without giving myself such a hard time about it. So I had the energy to heal, to recover. Recovery is not a quick fix. True recovery takes so much strength and careful consideration as we navigate whatever it is we're navigating. When I look at my daughter and see how she's navigated the past 2 years after her brain bleeds, and I see how she's able to laugh at the things that used to just make her break down and cry, and how she recognises the things that have improved. And she's able to, thankfully, because she's seen me go through it, she's able to say to me, you know, is it normal to not get your words out 2 years later? Is it normal to still feel fuzzy wuzzy when you're standing up? Is it normal to be so tired? Is it normal to be so frustrated and have to take everything so slowly? What's normal? Like, is there any hope for me? And I can honestly say that whether it's a year later, whether it's a week later, whether it's 5 years later, I know that wasn't really in order, but it doesn't matter. But there's so many things that's possible on your recovery journey. When I went to Stroke Club, which was a place where other people like me went after they'd had a stroke, and we got to meet other people with strokes and discuss stuff. And it really was a cool place to hang out. I was scared because I thought, oh, I'm going to this place, going to be full of old people, not going to understand anyone. It didn't work like that at all. What happened was I got there, and all of a sudden there were people that couldn't hold their juice in the mouth like me. And there were people that went to feed themselves and missed their mouths just like me. And there were people that couldn't hold the foot properly or the drink properly just like me. And despite it being a painting class and an art class, there were people just like me who couldn't hold a pencil. And to be able to be with people just like you laugh together, you cry together, and you're able to find something to laugh about, and you're not laughing at yourself. You're not the subject of a joke. What it is you're finding ways to resonate and to know actually it's okay, and give yourself permission to not be the person you were before the incident, which, whether that incident was a diagnosis or whether that incident was something else, you know, an accident or incident, whatever, you know, but to be able to be with someone and to recognise that it's okay to not be okay, and this is just where we're at, and be okay with that, makes a massive difference in your healing journey. This is why I can make a difference in a healing journey, because for someone who's going through homelessness or potential homelessness, I know what it's like to lose everything that I had and be left with what I was stood up in. I've been through that a few times, and I can resonate when it comes to having a stroke. I can totally resonate because I too have been there. Cancer, I have had cancer, I've overcome the cancer, I've been there. So there are things that I've had diagnoses of, experiences that I have lived, and there's close family who have been through cancer, that are going through cancer. There are close family who have been through homelessness, bullying, sexual abuse, including rape. I myself have too. And that's what makes me different. because I'm not there to tell you textbook stuff. I'm not there to give a magic wand or go and go off the book, because that shit doesn't work. I'm there to sit with you and meet you in your suffering, whatever your suffering looks like, and I know what it's like to suffer. So for you to come to me after my many years of being a Samaritan and say, you know, I'm contemplating suicide, for me, I see it as an honour. I don't see it as wasting my time. I don't think that I've got anything better to do. I want to be there with you. I want to be there to support you and to help you out and to sit with you and say, actually, you know, what are you going through? I don't fully get it, but I understand. I want to be able to sit with you and say, you know, I feel your pain, because I want to feel your pain too and help you carry that. I don't want to pretend everything's all rosy. I don't want to push things away and concentrate on the good stuff. No, that's not what I'm about. That's not who I am. If anything, I'm a shadow worker. I'm not really so keen on that term anymore, but I'm the kind of person who's willing to walk through your darkness with you. And I'm not the kind of person that will say, you need to wait till next week, let me know next week. Just write it down, let me know next week. No, none of that shit. Type it me in an email. Send it me in a text. If you want to reach out, say, you got a spare 5 minutes? I'm going for a wallow, and I'll be like, just give me a minute or 10, or I'm just doing this right now. And how about we meet up in 5 minutes, 10 minutes, half an hour, whatever. Might even be this evening, because, you know, we all have lives, but you are important to me. All the people who resonate, all of you, like, you're my people, you're my tribe, and we are not going to go through this alone when we can go through it together, because there's so much separation and separateness and division in the world, you know. So I'm about bridging the gaps and coming to you and connecting with you, and together we work through it, you know. I don't have the answers, but together we make a difference. Because when I was having one of the hardest times in my life, do you know what helped? It wasn't textbook shit. It was having someone who sat there and said, how are you? And actually wanted to know. It was someone who sat there with me and sat there and listened and gave me their time. It was a her, actually. And who genuinely messaged and just checking in, are you all right? And when it came to a time where I almost did take it, and I called up, and she gave me as long as it took to listen and to hold space. And now she is an incredible friend, not just my teacher. We need more people like this in the world. I'm just one of them. There are others. Otherwise I wouldn't be here. This is carrying it forward. And so, if you want to connect in some way, connect, you know, reach out. I'm here because we don't have to go through it alone. And it is okay to not be okay.